Okay, so what we have here is uh, The Jungle Book and the Second Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. Now, this is going to be a somewhat difficult thing to say, but listen, these are obviously written for children. Okay, and it is a classic, but it isn't on the same caliber, on the same level as Alice in Wonderland, maybe even Peter Pan, right? I think even The Wizard of Oz is way better. This is a bit lacking in certain areas. Now, it was a difficult task to maintain the attention necessary to finish this. Listen, the first Jungle Book, it's all right, whatever. It does its job. It's for kids. It's for kids. Okay, I only read it because there are some classics out there from your childhood that you just have to reconnect with to see, you know, why were you so enthusiastic about it to begin with when you were a kid. But now, as an adult, I'm like, what is this, bro? This is, I don't mean to insult anybody. Anybody. I'm sure during the time this was written and read, it was a sensation. It was magical. But listen, this is subpar, uninteresting, one dimensional at best. The story, the characters, the way it's written, I'm like, what is this, bro? There's nothing magical. Where's the adventure? Where's the journey? There's nothing here for me. For me, listen, this is for children, kindergartners, toddlers, okay? And even today, I think if you gave this to a kid, he or she would be bored. I mean, what are we doing here? Of course, the original book, it's nothing like the Disney movie. I mean, the Disney movie tried to make it entertaining. I mean, this is in the actual book. All the characters aren't so intertwined with one another. They don't have that's well defined relationship, right? Maybe we have here in the book maybe Mowgli and the Black Panther, or what is it, a jaguar, panther, whatever. They have a sort of established relationship. Everybody else is just like they're episodic characters, bro. There's nothing here. Even the goddamn tiger, what is it, Shira Khan or whatever his name is. I mean, this is a poor copy, a poor shadow of the movie. The tiger in this, he's a chump. He's a chump. Okay, there's nothing here. And it's disappointing because this is one of those books of your childhood that's been around forever, and you read it as an adult, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?" I don't understand how this can be such a legendary classic. It was a snooze fest, right? And I don't like how Kipling writes. I've read what Kim, right? His well-known novel, and it's just, oh, what is going on here, bro? It's a snooze fest, a snooze fest. Do better. Like I said, this was hard to stomach. You know, it was a grueling task to read this book, the first Jungle Book, right? But then, of course, then you have the second Jungle Book, right? The second Jungle Book, and as with Alice in Wonderland, you have the Through the Looking Glass. Now you have the second Jungle Book, and it is the same experience, the same problem we have with Through the Looking Glass we have in the second Jungle Book, which is, of course, sometimes if you don't bring the same amount of passion and expertise and love to the sequel as you did in the first, you're gonna have a mess. But since the first one is pretty much garbage, what are you gonna do with the second one? This is a jumbled mess, like Through the Looking Glass. It is absolutely appalling. I've read like, I don't know, maybe this amount, and I was just like, no, bro, no, no, no. This was a struggle. This was impossible. Okay, the second Jungle Book is intolerable. How dull and boring and just it is everywhere. It is everything. There's nothing here. There's no nothing. Nothing can grab you here. Not the characters, not the story, not how it's written. Nothing, nothing, nothing. This is just random things. Here is a story about a monkey. I don't care, bro. Even the snake is lame. What are we doing here? Everybody in this book, in the original books, they're lame. They're lame, and the movie tried desperately to make them something. All right. The second Jungle Book, it is wow. What happened? What happened? Of course, I know what happened because the first one is trash. This one is absolute garbage. I mean, I don't see a kid today, 21st century, even trying to read this. I couldn't do it. It's like I've read like something like this, and I was like, nope, nope. What is this mess? What is this jumbled, sketchy, dubious way of telling a story? It's like, here's a story about an anteater. Here's a story about a caterpillar. Here's a story about some scorpion. I don't give a fuck, boy. What is this? What is this? The two Jungle Books. I don't know what happened here. Wow. I have to say, out of the top classics for children, this is I don't get it. Someone explain to me why these two books are so remembered, so cherished. The Jungle Books. Wow. Wow. It's so dull, underwhelming, lame. I just don't get it. This is I view this the what everything. Listen, the plot, the characters, the way it's written, etc. This is not even third grade, third rate. This is even lower, even worse. If this is one of your favorites and you have some sort of nostalgia, fine. This is not to offend you. This is just my little opinion after desperately trying to read this. This is yikes. Never again, boy. Nah, nah. There are better kid stories out there. This is nah. This is appalling, appalling. Never again, bro. Never again. I tried. I desperately tried. Never again. Read better books. They're out there. Go find them.